Absolutely not true. And I cover all that on our seminar videotape. You might want to get that seminar on lies in the textbooks. But you can go through your textbook, find the places where the information is not correct, and cut the page out. I'm sure you can get local volunteers in churches in your area that would be thrilled to come help do that. Cut out the false information. If you'd like, send me a sample copy of your book, and I will make a list and tell you what pages need to be removed. I have read through scores, if not hundreds and hundreds of these textbooks, and I can find these things very quickly. Or, an alternative to that, you could simply glue the pages together, the pages that contain false information. You could put a warning sticker in the front cover of your textbook. Alabama requires a warning sticker if books teach evolution, to warn the kids the difference between micro and macro evolution. You may want to get my little brainwashed book, which contains much information in there about lies in the textbooks, to show the students, hey kids, this is not true. This has been proven wrong a long time ago. Many states have laws that require textbooks to be accurate, and I think that's very reasonable. For instance, Florida Statute 233.09 says all instructional materials recommended by each council for use in their schools shall be, to the satisfaction of each council, accurate. Now, the problem with the Florida law is that little phrase, to the satisfaction of each council. There's the problem. There are things in Florida textbooks that are absolutely not accurate. They're bold-faced lies, but the council said they were fine, so they're tolerated. They need to get the lawmakers that have some backbone to stand up and say, look, we'll take that phrase out. Textbooks should be accurate, period. Texas has a law that says instructional materials shall present the most factual information, and theories shall be clearly distinguished from facts and presented in an objective manner. Now, they're not in Texas textbooks, and I've got Texas textbook right here beside me. I've got quite a few of them. They are not presented objectively. Evolution is taught dogmatically, but the law says it's supposed to be. In Wisconsin, the administrative code says textbooks shall have factual accuracy. In Alabama, they have a sticker that says, this textbook discusses evolution, a controversial theory some scientists present as a scientific explanation for the origin of living things. No one was present when life first appeared on Earth. Therefore, any statements about life's origins should be considered as theory, not fact. Microevolution, it's got a whole section describing micro and macroevolution, which are very different, by the way. No connection whatsoever between the two. You might want to get one of the Alabama stickers and use it as a model to create something for your school textbooks, that you could warn the kids, hey, this information is not true. I think it's also important that students and teachers be aware of their legal rights on this topic. For instance, you might want to get this book, Students' Legal Rights, in your public school campus, showing how that students have the right to be exempt from any class that is teaching something contrary to their religion. If the parents go to the school and say, look, I don't want my kid taught evolution, I don't want them taught sex education or whatever, the schools have to abide by that. They have to say, okay, if you don't want the kid taught that, then we will take them out. And they have to provide alternative material, and they cannot punish the student for not being in the class. They can't test them on things where they weren't, when the student wasn't there. So I think that'd be a reasonable way to do it. Now, what's happening in our schools has me deeply concerned as I go speak in public schools very frequently. And honestly, I would like to help. I think it's important that we understand the law. What does the law say? The law says you can teach creation if you want. You don't have to, but you can if you want. Don't let anybody tell you you can't. There seems to be a lot of confusion on this topic, and it's unnecessary. I think we need to get back to teaching the basics, teach students, hey, it's okay, kids, you can teach creation, we can teach creation in class if we want. You can even read the Bible to them. Read the Bible story about the creation and say, students, what do you think? There's no problem with that whatsoever. Well, if I can be any help, please feel free to give me a call. Honestly, I'm concerned that many teachers do not know what they can and cannot do on this topic, and I would like to answer any questions I can or steer you to where you can get more information. The rest of this videotape now will contain an actual presentation that I'm doing at a public school. I speak in public schools frequently. If you'd like me to speak in your public school when I'm in your area, please look at my itinerary on my website, drdino.com, and find out when I'm going to be close to you there and schedule me to come speak in your public school. I don't know why there seems to be some schools that are afraid to have a creationist come in. There's no reason to be afraid. You certainly can. If I'm unable to come or schedule doesn't permit, I can certainly give you a list of other people who speak on creation. But I think it's essential that students get the information, that they see, hey, it's okay, I can learn about the Bible in my public school, I can learn about creation in my public school. So feel free to give us a call. We hope you enjoy the rest of this video.
Well, good of you to join us here on this tape. This will be our public school presentation. My name is Kent Hovind. I was a high school science teacher for 15 years. And I now travel the country and speak on the subject of creation, evolution, and dinosaurs. I am, without apology, a young Earth creationist. But I stick with the scientific aspects. And for you teachers that are watching this tape, I appreciate you taking time to look at this. And we're going to give the scientific evidence that shows the world is not billions of years old and dinosaurs did not live millions of years ago. And teachers need to be informed that they can teach creation science in the classroom if they so choose. In 1987, the Supreme Court passed a landmark decision about the Louisiana law. Louisiana was going to require their teachers to teach creation in the science class. The Supreme Court struck down that law, but they didn't say you can't teach creation. The Supreme Court said this law is unnecessary because teachers already have the right to teach creation if they want. You have the perfect right in your class, academic freedom. You can teach the creation story as given in the Bible if you'd like. Now, you can't try to convert the kid to be a Baptist or Catholic or a Buddhist or something else, but you can certainly give the creation account. It is very much part of the scientific discussion. Real science looks at all the different options, the different views. How did the world get here? The fact of the matter is, nobody alive today was here when it started. So any view of creation, be it evolution, is going to be religious by nature. I know the subject is controversial and some folks get all bent out of shape over this question, but the problem is they think that creation is religious, and it is, but they think that evolution is science, and it's not. Evolution is also a religion. And so I speak on this subject all the time across the country. If I can be of any help, if your students have any questions as they watch these tapes, please don't hesitate to call me. We'll put our phone number and address up on the screen. You can call or write. We have a list of many materials. We have 18 different videotapes as well as audio tapes and books, charts and things that'll help clarify the subject. We talk about carbon dating and how the starlight got here, and if the world's only 6,000 years old, how did the light get here from the stars? We cover all that in our video series. I'd be glad to send you a list of those. If you just call or write, we'll send you a free list of our material. My material is not copyrighted purposely. We encourage you to share it with as many folks as you would like, and thank you for joining us. Well, it's good to be here today. My name is Kent Hovind from Pensacola, Florida. I was a high school science teacher for 15 years, and now I travel around the country and speak on the subject of creation, evolution, and dinosaurs. Of all the crazy things to do, that's what I do. You say, dinosaurs? Yes. I brought some with me today. You're welcome to play with them when we get done. I need to warn you about a few of them, though. This one is a blondosaurus, so you need to talk to her kind of slow. All right? I also have the styracosaurus. I cannot prove this, but I think that styracosaurus is probably the dinosaur that invented hairspray. Just my theory on that. But all my stuff is hands-on. You kids are welcome to play with it. Have all sorts of interesting things. But let me get started here. This is not my wife now. This is just a picture of her. We moved to Pensacola we moved to Pensacola, Florida, early 1989 for her to finish her music degree at Pensacola Christian College. I have 3 teenagers that are all in high school at this time, and one of them's running the camera up here. Wave at him there, Ken Andrew. All right, he's running one of the cameras. We're glad to have him with. You know, there are 4 great questions that man tries to answer in life. These are called your philosophical worldview questions. How do you view this world? There are basically 2 options. Either somebody made the world, or nobody made the world made itself. It got here by a long, slow, gradual process called evolution. There are 2 competing theories, creation and evolution. Somebody is wrong. Seriously wrong, big time wrong. One of them is not correct. And I happen to be a very strong believer in creation. Now, the fact of the matter is, both theories, creation and evolution, both theories are religious. Neither one is provable scientifically. Some people like to think that creation is religious and evolution is science. No, no, no. They're both religious theories, both religious philosophies. But let's talk about the basic questions of life. Number 1, who am I? Number 2, where did I come from? Number 3, why am I here? Number 4, where am I going when I die? Your answer to these 4 questions is determined by what we call your world view, the way you view the world. Either somebody made it or nobody made it. If nobody made this world, if man is just an accident, a product of evolution, natural, blind, random chance, then your answer to these 4 questions is going to be very different than mine. For instance, who am I? Well, if evolution is true, you're nothing important. You're just a bit of protoplasm that washed up on the beach. How about, where did I come from? Well, if evolution is true, you came from a cosmic burp about 20 billion years ago. And there is no purpose to life.